Hey, you guys, and welcome to American Culture. It is cold outside, but Pet wants to go for a walk, and we're going to go. With that being said, today's energy update is get out of your own way, okay? The thing is, I left my job and I want to live purposely, but God told me He couldn't because I was already too occupied being disobedient, which I thought was ridiculous because your girl is obedient. I mean, I do all the things. And it's almost as soon as I said, but God, I do all the things. He said obedience is not something you do, it's who you are. It's a state of being. Go figure, like everything else. Are you obedient? And the answer is yes, I'm obedient to myself and the things that I want and I want to do. For example, when God told me to exercise and eat differently, I didn't do that. I didn't want to. I was being obedient to something. It just wasn't God. It was just myself. And He's let me know that that has left me out of balance. And because I'm out of balance, I don't just need support anymore. I need enabling. Let me give you guys a visual representation of that. This is life, God, the support system and whatnot. This is what happens when we're balanced. Now, don't get me wrong. Storms are going to come. And if they rock hard enough, you can fall and you can collapse. That's life. It makes us better. What most of us do is when the things start to get shaky, when we're imbalanced, we just add a little support so that it becomes crazy. We read the Bible, we go make friends, we do the whole church thing. We make sure that when we're in this obedient state of being and we're balanced, that even when the shaking comes, we have a nice support system. The thing is, you can walk away from support. You don't have to be there with your hands on anything that can support itself unless of course it calls for it. It's not occupying your time. But what happens is when we're disobedient and we live these disconnected lives, we get off balance. And suddenly now it doesn't matter if there's a storm coming, you can't stand up on your own 2 feet. You have to be there to enable this thing to have any support and structure. And what God was letting me know, He said, Alicia, you've lived that life in disobedience to God, but to yourself. Not on like a massive scale, but just I heard the intuition to go exercise months ago and I didn't start to do it. And so He's saying that it's left you off balance to the point to where in order to feel balanced, you have to continue to enable the I don't want to exercise, enable the I don't want to get up. In order to feel consistent in how you create your life, you have to enable the current problems that you have. And if you have to have your hands on your problems to feel stable, you can't let go of them. And if you can't let go of this, isn't it occupying your time? And so God let me know that what was blocking my flow, preventing me from being in the prime of my life, when priming isn't like, oh, I'm 30 something years old, I'm young and I'm able to do this. Priming means that the prime of my life means this moment where things are flowing to me and getting ready for the connection, for the reception. I'm blocking that because I'm literally occupied by enabling the things that continue to leave me off balance, the disobedient things that I'm continuing to doing. And that in order to move forward from this, in order for Him to send me a new occupation, in order for Him to send me the purpose that's available to me, because I'm getting primed, you guys, I'm getting primed to receive, I've got to stop enabling. I got to stop enabling. I've got to get back to a nice, clean, open foundation for God to put something else on top of it that doesn't need me to be occupied with it, that is self-sustaining. And so He wants me to be supportive. He doesn't want me to be an enabler. He wants me to be supportive of things that are good and okay for my life, i.e., I don't have to exercise 5 days a week, but He doesn't want me to continue to enable the one that just doesn't listen to those intuitive nudges by not listening and doing the intuitive nudges. That is literally getting in the way of my flow because I'm in my prime. And you guys, I'm going to explain to you, like as a nurse, we have feeding pumps and we have to prime them. And there's this bag of fluid and there's a line and that line connects to the patient. But all the food has to be through the line before we connect to the patient, or else it can hurt them if we push a whole bunch of air in with no food. And so what God was saying was that I have the enabling of the disobedient version of me, the one that just doesn't listen and continuing to live that life, has caused a kink and it's preventing the flow. I am being primed. You're being primed. You know that God is telling you to receive and bring. You know that it's up to you to stop enabling the person in you that's causing all of the blockages. And for me, it was the disobedient one that doesn't want to get up and exercise, doesn't want to eat right, doesn't want to listen, but wants this whole new life to formulate. How do I put this in the words? It's so easy for me now to see how often I had problems that made me off balance, that I thought I was supporting, but really I was holding it up and enabling it. And because I was so occupied by enabling the imbalances, I didn't have any time to receive balance. Like I couldn't leave the space. I literally was so tied to the space of imbalance that I couldn't leave that space to go find balance or to receive balance. And now things are different. And I think that it's probably the same way for you. You now that know what priming is, and you are primed and ready to go, and you're no longer going to be obedient to the version of you that isn't what God has told you to be. And it's that simple. So have a blessed day, you guys.